Well, a big Merry Christmas out there to all the viewers. As we head towards a big week of racing action, we're joined by Te Akau racing manager Reece Trumper as we look through the racing action over the coming week, which includes the races over the weekend and also the card there at Boxing Day at Akau Park on Tuesday, and also a couple of runners there at Wingatui as well. Reece, busy time of year. What's all the news at the moment?
Merry Christmas, everybody out there watching. Very quiet week on the racing front for us, Hazy. Only Matamata Friday and Te Rapa Trentham Saturday. So we've got a lot of horses racing in those 2 days, but it's given us a few days just to readjust everything. And apart from that, we've just been ticking over slowly.
Quick look at the week that's been in terms of the winners. Tauranga on Friday, Glitzy Glory and Devoted.
Glitzy Glory was great. She's always showing us that ability. Opie and Emily obviously bred her, so it made it extra special for Opie. And Devoted, that was a great win, ridden beautifully by Jess Allen. The mile probably was still a bit short of his best, so once he gets over more ground, he's going to be into it even more.
And Te Rapa there on Saturday, Reece's best bet gets home, moved to strike. That was an impressive looking son of Ironman Invincible.
He'll keep on improving off that too. Obviously, we've got our sights on Australia with him, and it's just a beautiful animal, and he's going to go places for sure.
So, of course, that meeting is the Blue Diamond meeting there on the 24th of February. I believe Imperatrice kicks her campaign off a week prior at the Lightning Stakes on the 17th. So plenty to keep an eye on over the Tasman. Campionessa seems to be getting really going from strength to strength at the moment, this campaign. She took out the Group 2 Cal Isuzu Stakes, and she finds herself in the Zabel Classic there on Boxing Day.
Beautifully ridden by Opie. As soon as he got her into that spot, she was going to be very hard to beat, and she's done it easily in the end. He hasn't asked for a supreme effort, and she obviously heads to the Group 1 on Boxing Day now, and she's a live chance.
Absolutely, and there on Trentham on Saturday, Fierce Flight. He's a tough bugger, and he hugged the rail there and managed to get the neck out at the right time on the line.
He's got a few tricks up his sleeve. I don't think he's been putting in this preparation, but he did on Saturday on a track that didn't really suit him. So it was great to see him back in winning form, and on the quick back up, he's a chance again.
And Ashburton there on Wednesday, just the one winner, Elegant Lady, has been stringing the wins together. She was really impressive yet again, and is really making a home down in the Deep South.
Lily Sutherland's a great apprentice. She got her into a beautiful spot, and she was there on the corner, and she's going strength to strength this mare. Obviously, Dave and Karen and a few others bred her, so it's a big thrill for them for sure as well. She's going to keep on improving.
All right, Matamata there on Friday. Thank you, Reece. We're going to kick off there. 16 runners, so plenty to talk through. So I'll call the runners out, and we'll go on to them as we go through. So we're going to kick off there in race number 1, the Donna He's Made in 2,000 meters. 2 runners, Can't Catch Me and Court of Appeal.
Both mares and fillies that are looking for this trip now. Court of Appeal's put in a couple of solid placings now, and getting up to this trip is going to help her. She's out of a Zabel mare, so the pedigree suggests that the further she goes, the better she'll get. She has drawn a sticky barrier, but Michael's obviously country's leading rider, so he'll work it out. But she's certainly a top 3 chance. And Can't Catch Me, she's been calling out for this trip. She's put in 2 solid performances, running on strongly. So expect her to be an each-way player as well.
And race 2 there, the Mimico 1200, 2 runners again, Alvento and Not Straight Lace, both first starters.
Alvento, he's ready to run a purchase we got last year. It's taken a while for the penny to drop. His trials have been good this preparation. He's going to be a sneaky chance, and he's got the right rider on in Craig Rules. Not Straight Lace, she's a homebred of Dave and Karen's, and she's a lovely filly. She's obviously going to take plenty of improvement from this race, but she's going the right way, and certainly one to watch out for.
Race 3, the Cunningham Decorating Services Maiden 1200, just the one there, Tranquilla for Cambridge Stud, the daughter of Farage, draws barrier 6 with Michael McNabb on board.
Her trial at Waipa a couple of weeks ago was outstanding. She didn't have any clear air, and when she got it, she really hit the line full of running. So we're going in full of confidence. She's a lovely, big, strong mare by Farage. Her work's been good. She's going to get into a nice spot from that draw, and getting Michael on again is going to be a massive help. She's a definite winning chance.
Race 4, Comag maiden 3-year-old 1400, ruler of Egypt, the son of American Pharaoh, draws barrier 8 with Nurajam Palmer on board.
He was good first up. He does have the tendency to over race, but he relaxed nicely and hit the line full of running. So the step up to 1400 will be ideal for him. Palmer gets on with him really well, and that kg off always helps. So he's certainly an each way chance.
Race 5, the Matamata Veterinary Services maiden 3-year-old. She turns heads, hasn't missed the placings in her most recent runs. Draws barrier 2 with Matthew Cameron on board.
She's going well. She just keeps finding one or two better every time she gets to the races. But it was a good performance last time. She sat deep, but she rounded it off nicely. Getting Matt on, he's a good, strong rider that'll really push her out, and it might just be what she needs. She should get into a nice spot from that. She's a filly that can race on speed and come from behind them. So she's very versatile, and she does deserve a win for sure.
And certainly looks a smart animal to my eye. Was nutted on debut there, going down to Pendragon, who came out and bet Quintessa and Tokyo Tycoon in the weekend. That form certainly stands up for Friday.
Exactly, it's a great form race. We think a lot of this filly. He's going to get where she gets to in the running from that draw. We're not sure. We'll just ride her as she jumps, but she's going to be very, very hard to beat for sure.
Race 6, the Ancroft stud, rating 60 handicap. 2 again, Spellcraft and Invincible.
Spellcraft getting back to the mile will be ideal for him. He's a horse that can get up on speed, and that might be key for Matamata. The track hasn't been used in a while, so I would say it's going to be real on speed on Friday. But he was hitting the line strongly, and Opie was happy with him at Rotorua the other day. Invincible, she just over raced a bit. She did Wong Craig Rules in the mouth when they came out of the gates, and he was a bit dazed. So she led them up, but she found it plenty the other day at Rotorua. She found a good kick. We'll have to go back from the draw, but the shadow roll goes on for concentration, and she's a definite chance.
Race 7, the Entane NZB Insurance Pearl Series maiden fillies and mares 1200. Quali Alpha Rasha draws barrier 13.
She's a lovely mare, homebred again. She put in one really good performance at Woodville that we took a lot of confidence away from. She's a filly that could pick up black type along the way, but she'll probably benefit from this outing.
And down to race number 8, the Noble and Lead Chartered Accountants rating 65 benchmark. 3 this time. What you wish for in Cabell and Almanet?
What you wish for, obviously, put in a good effort in the Sarden Memorial. He's a horse that we have a lot of time for. That breaks down the world of good. He had a nice trial at Ellerslie. He's drawn a nice barrier. He can race up on speed, getting the man back on that one on him in his only race that he's won is a big help. Going into this race with a lot of confidence. Romance in the Moon won this race last year, and she went on to win the Living Classic, and that's the type of path we're going to try and take with this horse. In Cabell, she was really good first up. I think second up just knocked her around. She's worked up well since then. Palmer on, who rode her first up, gets on with her really well. So expecting sharp improvement off that second up run. Almanet, step back and trip from 1800 to 1400. We've put the blinkers on. Her work's been sensational in them. And she's a filly that's very versatile. She can race on speed and from behind them. So wherever she gets to, I'm sure she'll be running on in the finish.
And race 9, the Bell and Graham maiden 1400 2. This is the last race on the card. Primo Vino and Please Sir.
Primo Vino's probably looking for a lot further. He's still quite woolly in the coat, so he's going to take sharp improvement from this. So he's a next-time player. He's drawn out as well, so he's got a few negatives to his name. Please Sir, it was encouraging seeing him run on so strongly the other day at Te Rapa in quite a hot field. He's drawn a nice barrier. He can put himself up on speed, and with the blinkers on, he's a top 4 chance again for sure.
Right, and 8 in there on Te Rapa on Saturday, starting off there in race number 2, the nationwide livestock 1200 maiden 3-year-old race. Akinhi for Trelawney Stud, their very well bred daughter of Fastnet Rock, draws barrier 1 with Vinnie Colgan on board.
Billy, we have a lot of time for. She's going to get a nice economical run in transit. Vinny was over this morning and galloped her, and he was really happy with her. So we're going into the race with a lot of confidence. She's obviously bred to get over a lot further trip than she's getting on Saturday, but we're pretty confident for Saturday.
Race 3, the Peter R. Wilson Memorial Rating 65 benchmark. Catherine Kin draws barrier 5 with Nira Jan Palmer on board.
She won her race on the poly, obviously, so getting her onto turf will be interesting. She does find herself in a very rich race, but limited options. It's the only race we could find for her, but she's a filly that can get up on speed, and that could be key to her.
And race 5, the Lodge Real Estate 1400, rating 75 benchmark. A nice field of progressive gallopers here. Wyrell Cove and Freeze Frame take their place.
Freeze Frame was excellent first up. He came from nowhere. It's very hard to make ground like he did at Te Rapa, but he did it like a really good horse. So he's going places. He's done well in that time since then. He was always going to improve after that first up run. So he's gone the right way since. Wyrell Cove's got a very good second up record, so expect to see sharp improvement from him. And he's down a kg from what he raced on first up, which will be ideal for him. And the 1400 looks to be good for him as well. So he expects sharp improvement.
Race 6, the Waikato Bay of Plenty Racehorse Owners Association Mile, maiden 1600 metres. I thought Matakana Girl would relish the step up to a mile. She's had the light above her head, looking like a winner sometime soon.
Exactly. 2 great performances. The step up to 1600 is ideal. I even think she's going to get further than this. She's bred, obviously, to get 2,000 metres, so a mile still might be a bit short, but her work's been really good. We're happy with her and expect a really nice run from her.
And Ascend the Throne there draws barrier 15 with Matthew Cameron on board.
Still waiting on 3 scratchings. Hopefully they come. He's a horse that we have so much time for. He's a real derby horse in the making. His first up run was excellent at Te Rapa. He really built into the line. Getting him to the mile is ideal. We'll have to ride him back from that draw, but Matt's a good busy rider that'll get the most out of him.
Race 7, the Print House Mile Open Handicap. Ayatir Lad draws barrier 1 with Matthew Cameron on board.
Tough run first up. He had a good blow and puff afterwards, so we can forgive him on that. Second up, he'll strike fitter. The 1600 off the pedigree should be ideal for him, so expect sharp improvement.
And one of your favourites in Accidental Tourist for Windsor Park Stud draws barrier 2 with Vinnie Colgan on board.
Building up to a victory, isn't he? His run at Otaki was good the other day. His form's been good all season, really. Looking forward to the $4-year-old $1 million race with him. He is in great order. He's eating well, working well. He's going to get into a nice spot. Vinny gets on with him well, so expect him to be in the finish.
Excellent. And over to Trentham there on Saturday as well. Tui backing a winner since 1889, 1200. Reese loves a Tui, 3-year-old set weight and penalties, 1200. Superbly written. Obviously, Sammy B got this one home in the inquiry room against the eventual eulogy winner and still banging. So that's not too bad a form for this.
Exactly. Obviously, she had a couple of problems after Matamata. We've given her time. She's really strengthened up since then. She's a very versatile filly. She's a lovely, strong girl. I think the 1,200 metres up the chute will be ideal for her. Michael was very keen to ride her. He could have ridden a couple of horses in this field, and he chose her. So that gives us a lot of confidence.
And race 2 there, the J Pack Holmes 1100, 2-year-old set weight and penalties, 1,100 metres. Unbridled Joy, another one from the Move to Strike Colt Syndicate from the Gold Coast, draws barrier 6 with Jonathan Riddell on board.
He's your lovely, neat sort of looking colt, whereas Move the Strike's your big, long type of horse. This horse gives us a lot of sort of state vibes, and his trials have been excellent. We are heading into the race with a lot of confidence. Jonathan's a good, strong rider that can get colts over the line. He obviously won the Sistema Diamond for Dave on Heroic Valor. So he's the right man for the job for sure, and expecting a really big performance.
And when Stars Align, another colt that was an expected purchase by David at Karaka, draws barrier 1 with Michael McNabb on board.
His trials have been really good. He does get himself lost sometimes, but going over the junction, he should be sweet. Drawing barrier 1, he'll have the rail, which will be his best friend. He's got good gate speed. His work this week has been excellent, and we're heading into the race full of confidence. We really can't split the two of them.
And race 6, the Group 2 Bramco Granite and Marble Manor 2 Challenge Stakes, 1,400 metres weight for age. Romancing the Mood on the quick backup from last week. Did win the Live-In Classic on the same course back in March. Draws barrier 7 with Kozi Asano on board.
She does really well on the feed bin, hence why we're backing her up. She doesn't She takes a while to get fit, so she's still bigger and round. But like you said, if it's a wet track in the 1400 weight for age, it probably isn't ideal, but she gets in still very well. Kozi Asano was very keen to go down and ride her again, so we're full of confidence.
And race 7, another Group 3 on the cards, the Humphreys Construction Manor 2 Cup. It's over the 2,300 metres. Fierce Flight, another one on the backup, draws barrier 4 with Craig Grills on board, and leaderboard there for Fortuna Racing, draws barrier 12 with Kozi Asano on board.
Fierce Flight, he's drawn a lovely barrier, like you said, so he'll be able to land right there. Craig Grills is obviously a very strong rider. Jonathan Parks, unfortunately, has got COVID and couldn't ride him. So to get Grills onto him is a massive help. As long as he behaves and handles the track, he's a definite winning chance again. And leaderboard was good last week. He's building up to this. 2 good fitness runs now, so expecting him on a wet track to bounce back to some winning form.
Right, excellent. And then we have a very Merry Christmas in between, and we wake up very happy on Boxing Day morning, well fed and ready for the races, Reese. We'll kick off there in Otago at Wingatui there and race through the Dunedin City Motors 3-year-old set weight and penalties 1200. Valorious, the son of Heroic Valley at Bella, won on debut, now finds himself a bit further afield in the deep south, draws barrier 9 with Tina Komanyagi on board.
He needs to step up now. This is a big test from what he raced against in the maidens, but to get Tina Kobanagi aboard is going to be massive help for him. She's obviously the leading South Island rider. He's a horse that can get up on speed, and as long as he gets away with a couple of cheap sectionals, he might be able to pinch it, because quite often early in the day at Wingatui, it is real on speed.
And here's a couple of good ones that's popped up down south in the listed property brokers, Ray Keane Hazlitt Stakes. Millie Fiore and Kai drawn out a bit, but have their chances in the listed feature event.
Mil Fiore is flying. Obviously, 2 starts ago, she should have beaten Desert Lightning. She's done well since her last start. Obviously, a bit of a freshen up, but it's a good opportunity to get her down there and get some black type. Joe Cameroon obviously has ridden her on race day before and gets on with her really well. So as long as she could run top 3, we'll be happy. Kai, unfortunately, has drawn the outside barrier, but we've got one of the leading riders from the South Island, Kylie Williams, on, and she'll know the track inside out. So she'll know what to do. And it's the same position. If she can pick up any black type, it'll do her the world of good for when she goes to be a broodmare.
And over to Pukekohe Park there on Tuesday, we kick off in race number 1, the New Zealand Bloodstock Cracker 2024 2-year-old set weight and penalties 1100. I know one man, Luke Hemmies, will have his eyes on this race. I know that the boys get paid have had a decent old bet on Cool and Fast, who lines up on debut there. The Colt by Savile Bell draws barrier 8 with Opie Boston on board.
He's a beautiful black son of Satherbill. He's not like his brother Courzabil. He's a bit longer and a bit taller. He's got a lot more leg to go with, so hopefully it means he can go a bit quicker. Trials have been good. Work's been excellent. We're heading into it with a lot of confidence, and Opion's only going to help him.
And if you've watched the Cool and Fast trials, you probably haven't missed Kansas Storm there, the filly by Savile, who draws barrier 6 with Michael McNabb on board.
She's also a lovely mare by Savile, filly. Her trial was excellent at Waipa the other day. Michael riding her at 54 is a big help, and she's a leading contender as well. Where she gets to in the running, I'm not sure, but she's a really nice filly.
Race 2, the Majestic Horse Floats 1200, rating 75 benchmark. Petrucci, the daughter of I Am Invincible for Trelawney Stud, draws barrier 10 with Opie Boston on board.
Hasn't had all that much luck last couple of races. Blinkers are on, obviously, like the other day. Opie on's going to be a massive help. It's his first time he's going to ride her. From the draw, I'm not too sure where she gets. Sometimes she can come away quickly and sometimes she comes away slowly. So we know that she's got that great turn of foot, and as long as she puts her best foot forward, I'm sure she's a winning chance.
And race 4 there, the Barfoot and Thompson 1400 open handicap. Wild Knight, the big rangy chestnut galloper by Vanbrugh, draws barrier 1 with Opie Boston on board.
He was good first up. They just took the pace out of it, and he over-raced and was still a bit green and fresh at Otaki. He's taken plenty of improvement from then. He obviously has just a quiet day out at the trials at Matamata on Friday. He's just had a while between runs, so it'll just blow the cobwebs out again. But we're happy with the way he's leading into it. He's going to get a soft run. As long as the gaps open when we need them, I'm sure he'll be there in the finish.
And race 6, the Group 2 Shores Wire Ropes Auckland Guineas 3-year-old set weights over 1400. 2 back up there from Saturday at Te Rapa at the Cup meeting in Tokyo Tycoon and Quintessa. Was it always the plan to back these horses up?
It was. So this was the plan heading into the 3-year-old $1 million race, $1.5 million race. They were both very good at Te Rapa. They had the line full of running, and we took a lot of confidence away. Obviously, they didn't win, but we weren't knocked by their runs because we're not wanting them to win over 1,200 metres. We're wanting them to win over a lot further than that.
Excellent. And how is Tokyo Tycoon going into the run and Quintessa?
They're both eating really well. Their work's been excellent. So they tick a lot of boxes there. Opie and Michael, obviously leading riders in New Zealand, is going to be a massive help to them. But we really can't fault them.
Excellent. And there's a lot of kind of loosely unexposed forms through maiden midweek races there as well. So it'll be interesting how this one lines up. So keep an eye out on that race there on Tuesday to be one of the ones that will be very exciting. As will the Group 1 Cambridge Stud Zabeel Classic, weight for age over 2050, and Prix de Fer, another one on the back up there in the Waikato Cup. Actually look to see out the 2400 okay. He'll be rock hard fit as he draws barrier 3 with Australian jockey Blake Shin on board.
The horse is flying. We couldn't have been any more pleased with his run at Waikato the other day. Getting Blake Shin on is going to be a massive help. He's a good, strong rider, which this horse needs. Michael was confident that he'll get the 3200, so we put the nom in for the Auckland Cup. But the horse is flying, and we're really happy with him. He's a very happy horse.
And Campionessa, she's airborne. She's like you, Reese, heading into Christmas. Draws barrier 4 with Opie Bosson on board.
She's obviously flying. Her win in the Kalai Zuzu was very soft. She deserves a Group 1. She obviously was a bridesmaid twice last year, won over this trip. So any horse deserves a Group 1 in the country. It's her. She's got the right man on top, and off her pedigree and the runs, the 2050 holds no fears. And
race 10 there, the Sky City 1400, rating 65 benchmark. Bellamio draws barrier 17 with Niranjan Palmer on board.
Visor blinkers go on. He's just been coasting his last couple of runs, so we're going to wake him up. It's a good race. Obviously, it's got a lot of depth in it for being a 65. Palmer gets on with him really well. He can be a difficult horse to ride, but Palmer seems to have him completely under control. And if he can get back to his form he was in 12 months ago, he's a top 3 contender for sure.
And Francie there for Hanoi Stud draws barrier 11 with Opie Bosson on board. This horse has had a bit of early market support.
She was excellent. Second up at Rotorua, she had the line full of running. If it was 50 metres more, she wins by a length. So the 1400 will be ideal for her. Opie up's going to be a big help. And the big long straight will be ideal for her too. So she's a winning chance for sure.
Excellent, Reese. Lots to choose from. You're in hot form from last week. Can we back it up going into the Christmas period and deliver a few presents for the viewers out there?
Certainly, Matamata will win.
Certainly at Matamata there on Friday in the Waikato Stud colours. So thanks for your time, Reese. Have a really good Christmas. I'm not sure whether you'll get out and about or go to any family functions. It's going to be a pretty busy time for you, but enjoy, stay safe, and I'm sure we'll catch you around the traps at the races over the next couple of days as well.